Good evening, everyone. I'm happy to be here once again. This is Psychoeducation on Salem Consultants. We've been having a conversation on becoming a better me. And I want to believe that even as we get to understand and to know ourselves and to understand the barriers to personal growth and development, we will be able to appreciate the conversations we've been having here. We talked about mental illness, we've talked about mental wellness, we've talked about taking care of people that are struggling or having mental health issues, and how we can be able to be of help to the people around us. We've also talked about now our personal growth. And today it will be more on self growth. Of course, we'll be having a deeper conversation on now how does self-awareness make me better, or how does understanding myself make me a better person. Maybe just as an introduction, allow me to say that the more I know who I am, the more I'm in control of everything that happens around me. I may not be really be able to control my happenings, but I can control how I react to what happens to me. That is very key and very important, being able to understand that aspect, that yes, I may not change what happens to me. So things will happen that are unpleasant, but because I understand myself, or I am okay mentally, I will be able to handle what happens to me in a better way than I would have handled if I did not know myself. There's a lot of blindness that comes with not knowing ourselves. So sometimes you have such great potential, you have so much you can be able to offer, but that potential is just blind. It's somewhere hidden because I have never encountered an opportunity even to get to know myself. Of course, this reminds me of things like the blind self. There's a place that we are blind to ourselves. We may, and it is on both sides. It can be a negative attribute, it can be a positive attribute, but that particular aspect of my life, I am completely blind to it. I do not know whether it exists. So self-awareness helps me to be able to encounter all that. So why are we having these conversations on psychoeducation? Why are we doing this? Our intention, one, is to create awareness. The next one, of course, is to become a tool of empowerment. Remember, the theme is becoming a better version of me. It is better me empowerment. I want to be a better person. I want to thrive more. I want to become, of course, a person of impact wherever I am. The other one, of course, it's creating mental health awareness. We know we are living in a time when there is such a heavy burden on the matters of mental health, and also, again, being able even to demystify the mental health, because there's that belief that I only need to see a mental health expert when I am sick, or if I am seeing a mental health expert, I am looked as though wellness. Of course, the other one is being able to create a community around us that is going to empower people. So this information, as we listen to it, our desire and prayer is that we will be able to pass on this information to another person. So when you receive it, it's not your own, it's that you will be able to create a community of people that are self-aware. And that is why we exist as Salem Consultants. Our desire is to be able to raise holistic, people who are holistically well. You are whole in your body, spirit, and mind. You can be able to thrive in whatever environment you're put into. You can be able to exercise and experience the ability to be able to do things and be able to empower the people around you, exploit your potential, exploit your abilities. All those things are the desire. And that is what we desire to achieve at the end of these conversations. And we'll be here every single Tuesday from 8:30. We are looking forward to just have this conversation that is going to transform our lives and impact other people around us. So today we are talking about the impact. Our topic is the impact of self-awareness. And I want to add the impact of self-awareness to personal development. So I'll be focusing on the impact of self-awareness on personal development. Why the part of personal development? We can be self-aware, but we are not really like keen on developing ourselves. We are not keen on tapping into our potential, tapping into our resources, abilities, giftings, strength, and of course, all these other things that God has endowed us with. So self-awareness plays a crucial role in personal development as it involves understanding one's emotions, thoughts, values, strengths, weaknesses, and motivations. So self-awareness helps me to understand my emotions. It will help me to understand my thought process and why do I think the way I do. It also helps us to understand our values. What values govern me? Remember, a person without values is a boundaryless person. A person without values is a boundaryless person, is a person who will do anything, accommodate anyone, and allow anybody to interfere with their lives because they don't have values. There's really nothing that governs their life. Then, of course, it's able also to you are able to understand your strength. Your strength is who you are. That is your uniqueness. It's what makes you stand out. Is what makes you separate from the crowd. I am trusting that every person that follows us on Salem Media, on this platform where we discuss on about our mental wellness, my desire is that we will be able to stand out. We will be able to be different. We will be people that are different from what is happening around us. Sorry, I want to. Let me try to see whether I can lower that background noise. Good. So I was saying that when we are self-aware, we will be separate. We'll be different from everybody else. We will not be like everybody else. It will be very easy for us to be picked from the crowd. And that is my desire, that as even before the end of this year, we will be in a place where we can be distinct, we can be unique, and we can be separated from the crowd. Because of course we have been able to connect with our strength. The next one is of course weaknesses. Weaknesses, remember, sometimes stand in as things that interfere with our wellness, things that become even our threats. They become things that stand in our way. Maybe I am a lazy person, yet I have this big vision that I want to accomplish, but there is this laziness, or there is a way I'm not able to interact with people well, or maybe I get into a job and I have poor communication skills, so the way I talk with people stands in my way. The other one, of course, it also gives us motivation. So when I understand, I have personal development, I'll have all this, I'll have motivation. So it is the foundation of growth. Self-awareness is the foundation of growth. It is the foundation upon which we lay our lives. It's enabling individuals to make informed decisions, improve relationships, and achieve their goals. So this is the foundation of growth, and its purpose is to enable us to make informed decisions, improve relationships, and achieve goals. So when I know myself, it is my way towards personal growth. It is my opportunity to be able also to make informed decisions. And it also becomes a way of being able to improve relationships. I relate with the people better, and then I can also be able to achieve my goals. I feel like already I have explained personal development. So because I have known myself, therefore then my development in terms of who I am, in terms of my strength, in terms of understanding even my giftings and talents, it becomes very easy, and I will not self-sabotage. I will not self-sabotage. Sometimes our behavior, our character, our lack of understanding our personalities and even understanding who we are, we find ourselves doing self-sabotage, where we sabotage ourselves at work, we sabotage ourselves by how we use money, we sabotage ourselves by how we relate. Because sometimes you may meet with a person that was such a treasure, a person of so much importance in your life, a person that was supposed to change, to completely change your life. But because you have maybe a character flaw, something you had not dealt with, you self-sabotage yourself by missing that opportunity that would have changed your life. So what are the key ways that self-awareness impacts personal development? How does self-awareness impact personal development? Number one, you get improved emotional regulation. You are able to regulate your emotions well. Remember, we said self-awareness is being able also to understand our emotions, our thoughts, and our behavior. Why do I behave the way I do? So, number one, self-awareness improves emotional regulation. So I will be able to handle my emotions better. Self-awareness helps individuals recognize and understand their emotions, allowing them to manage reactions and respond to situations more effectively. So because I understand my emotions, I know how I behave when I'm angry, I know how I behave when I'm happy, I know how I behave when I am anxious, I know how. Now that is all on awareness. Then I will be able to manage reactions well, I will respond to situations more effectively, and also I will identify emotional triggers. People can develop healthier coping mechanism and reduce impulsive behavior. So when I know and understand my emotions better, I will be able to regulate them well. I will also be able to manage triggers. Some people, when they get a trigger, they completely, because of lack of self-awareness, it can mess a whole situation which was not supposed to be messed at all. It's only because I did not know, I did not understand my emotions at that particular moment, or I did not understand that was even a trigger, or I did not take care of myself so that I don't expose myself to triggers that I cannot be able to manage. So it helps be able to manage triggers, helps be able to cope, have better coping mechanisms with challenging situations. I remember on this platform I have said, we will always experience hard times. I said we will always experience situations that are not pleasant. There is nothing we can do about life with maybe changing things like death. We cannot change situations like sicknesses. We may not have the ability even to change economic changes or challenges that come, or maybe a natural disaster that might come at one point. But when I am self-aware and I'm able to regulate my emotions well, it means it will meet a person who is healthy emotionally, who is healthy mentally, who is healthy even how they relate and how they define or perceive those hard situations. I hope that point is home. The next one is enhanced decision making. If there is a place that is affected by lack of self-awareness, it is decision making. Because when I do not believe in myself, okay, first I don't know myself, therefore I don't believe in myself, and I have self-doubt. What happens when decisions are supposed to be made? I'll keep back and forth, asking people's opinion or waiting for people's approval for me to be able to make a decision. So enhanced decision making. So when I am self-aware, it is going to help me in decision making. Understanding personal values, goals, and priorities enables individuals to make decisions aligned with their authentic selves. Sometimes people make decisions, but those decisions are just to please other people. Or you make a decision because the heat of the moment is too heavy on you and there is nothing to do. You just have to choose because you want this thing to just go. But of course, you realize at the end of the day, because that decision did not come from your real you or from in the inside of you. You do it, but you do it without the satisfaction that is supposed to be associated with it. So self-awareness reduces the influence of external pressures or societal expectations, leading to more intentional and fulfilling choices. Why do you buy the things you buy? Maybe we can just go a little bit to that question. Ask yourself, why do you do the things you do? Why do you buy the things you buy? Why do you even post the content? Sometimes we post online. Why is it that I do things the way I do them? Who am I who am I serving with the decision that I've just made? So the more we are able to understand ourselves, then the more we will be able to make right decisions or informed decisions, decisions that are aligned to our desires, decisions that are aligned to even our character or personality. Sometimes you may find yourself getting into a party that is too loud. Everybody is making noise there, and you are an introvert. Your personality does not allow you to be in such a space, but because you do not know who you are, you still join them because you want to please the people around you. So decision, being able to understand self or having self-awareness enhances our decision making. We are talking about the impact of self-awareness on personal development. The impact of self-awareness on personal development. So again, we are able, the third one, we are able to have better relationships. So we relate with people better, more healthy, in a more stable way. So self-aware individuals are more empathetic and understanding of others' perspective. When we are not self-aware, we are selfish. When we are not self-aware, we are selfish. We always think about life in terms of ourselves. What is my take? What do I gain? What is my what am I getting from this? How will people think about me? How will people look at me? So even when I am relating from that angle, and it becomes very hard to be able to sacrifice for others when we are not self-aware. So you become very selfish. Sometimes you don't even want to understand the emotions of other people. when we talk about empathy, empathy is a key thing to relationships. Now, one of the things that causes a lot of conflict, especially in close relationships, and allow me to mention, to bring this to a marriage relationship. One of the things that brings a lot of conflict in marriage is being able to listen to a conversation from a significant other or a close person to you, and you're listening to them from your perspective only. And you don't want to understand what they meant with what they said. That can cause such a conflict. It can cause such a divide, a division among two people. And of course, you realize when there is that division, when that division comes, or when that fight comes between the two of you, you will again use a lot of time to do reconciliation. So when I am not self-aware, I am prone to become very selfish and therefore not empathetic, and I will not understand the perspective of other people. So our connection will be very strained. I don't know whether you've seen people who live in the same house, but they are strangers. You can envision a person, you're living with that person in the same house, almost sleeping in the same bed, and you're strangers. I'm now talking in the concept of marriage. The cause of that on most occasions is lack of self-awareness. I have blocked so much about myself that even the person maybe I have lived with, and I'll use my case, a person I've lived with for almost 20 years does not know who I am, because I am not self-aware. If I do not know myself, I cannot be able to help others to know me, because I also don't know myself. You can imagine how pathetic that situation is. I don't know who can help us in that. In a situation where I do not know myself, and therefore other people also don't know me. Of course, you can communicate more effectively, solve conflict constructively, and build trust in relationships. So there is no animosity. There is no hidden agenda. There is no cover-ups. There is no, there is nothing you are hiding. There is dishonesty is not in that picture, because you are both self-aware, and therefore you are open to each other, and you're talking with respect of each other. Remember, I'm respecting you the way you are, and I'm not even intending to make you change so that I accept you, but I can be able to accommodate you the way you are, because I am self-aware. Wow. I feel like I'm talking to myself. The fourth one is increased self-confidence. It increases self-confidence. Remember, when I understand my strength, I understand my values, I understand my emotions, I also understand my boundaries, it becomes very easy to know how far is too far. What can I do and what can't I do? What is this that I can be able to accommodate, and what is this that I cannot accommodate? So even when I stand before people, I am more confident because I love myself. I looked into myself, I looked into my self-worth, I looked into my self-image, I have looked into my abilities and all those things that describe self. So because I am comfortable with that, it becomes very easy for me to now even present myself before other people. So it will increase my self-confidence. So recognizing one's strength and accomplishments boosts self-esteem and confidence. So I become more confident. I'll become more vulnerable even before people, because there is nothing I'm hiding. I know myself. I know my challenges. I know the struggles that I have. So I really don't fear what people will say about the situation, because I understand myself better. At the same time, acknowledging weaknesses allows for targeted self-improvement, leading to a more balanced self-perception. Now, when I know my weaknesses, I will not hide them from people. Like if I know I have a challenge with temper, and I'm giving this example knowing that is almost a space I used to be. And I remember there is a time I used to really carry a person who has hurt me. I would carry you for years. And when I understood that, I remember I went through a series of several instances that God had to really work on it. The more I understood it, the more it became easy for me to be able to improve myself, because there is no way I will relate with people when I am carrying grudges. Because relationships cannot thrive in a place where there is grudges and bitterness and unforgiveness. Because there is something we will cross about each other at one point. There is something somebody will say as we relate with people. So I cannot avoid a situation where someone is doing something hurtful to me, but I can avoid how I feel, or I can manage how I feel about it. So by understanding those weaknesses, it becomes very easy now for me to do self-improvement. Personal growth and adaptability, another point of the impact of self-awareness. Self-growth becomes very easy. I become a person who is more adaptable. I can be able to relate with as many people. I can be able to accommodate people. Self-awareness encourages a growth mindset where individuals view challenges or opportunities to learn and grow. When I'm not self-aware, I'll run from challenges. I will run from hard times. Sometimes when we are not self-aware, we don't even want to listen to people. When someone is teaching the way I am teaching, we take them as if they are judging us. We take them as though they are showing they know a lot. When I am not self-aware, I become self-judging. So I also start judging myself as I judge other people. And it becomes very hard to learn. A person who is not self-aware is not a teachable person. It's very hard to teach them. Sometimes, because of the many barriers somebody has put on ourselves, we find ourselves putting barriers and blockages even to growth and learning. Remember, our life is a learning curve throughout our life. Everything that happens to us is a learning experience, is a learning opportunity. Everything that happens to us, good or bad, is supposed to be an opportunity to learn. So when I am more self-aware, I will open myself for learning. It improves adaptability. Remember, we called that personal growth and adaptability. I'll be ready to grow, but I will also be more adaptable to situations by helping people recognize when change is needed and take proactive steps to evolve. So I will not be a person who resists change. Sometimes we resist change for so long that even the season passes us without realizing that season has gone because we were resisting the change. And life, because life is very dynamic, and it moves very fast, it is important to be very careful that we don't dwell on one place or dwell on some pain that happened last year and I get stuck in that place and I am not able to move. So I'm not able to adapt to the next thing that is to come. So when I am not self-aware, I will not be adaptable to change. The other one, of course, is goal setting and achievement. You are able to set clear goals. Maybe our next conversation as we continue will be able to touch a little bit on self-concept. Because when I have the right image of who I am, it will be very easy for me to set clear goals because I am excited about who I am. So I want to achieve more and more. So setting goals becomes clearer when I believe in myself more, when I understand who I am more, when I understand my strength. Remember, in my strength is where my abilities are, that is where my giftings and are, that is where my skills are. So then I will be able, when I know my strength, I can be able now to set goals in line with my strength. I can set goals in line with my personality. I can set goals in line with how I relate with people and how I see life, because at that point I'm also living a positive life. So understanding one's motivation and inspiration makes it easier to set realistic and meaningful goals. Self-awareness helps individuals stay focused, track progress, and adjust strategies as needed to achieve their objectives. The seventh one is reduced stress and anxiety. That is the seventh impact, reduced stress and anxiety. One of the, if there is the greatest cause of anxiety, it is when I have a conflict between the who I am supposed to be within and the who I am in reality. And on most occasions, there is an inner person that tells me who Anne is. And on mostly that is the truth. But now there is this personality I have created for myself because either maybe of fear, criticism that I received, pain that I have gone through. So this is the person that is easily projected to people. So that conflict of those two is what causes a lot of anxiety, because there is what I know I am capable of doing, yet there is this facade around me that covers me with fear and intimidation. And just the thought of being that person cripples me. So when I understand myself, when I know who I am, it becomes very easy to then reduce stress and anxiety. So I will not be stressed. Like when I am told I'll do a presentation in class, or I'll do maybe a presentation at work, or I'm given a project that I'm supposed to work on, and even given deadlines to work on it, I will not be anxious of when I will finish, because I believe in myself. I even believe in my timings. So even when I am giving my report, I will be giving, like, I will be done in the next 2 hours, or I will be done in the next 3 hours. I will not promise what I cannot deliver. Therefore, I will not open doors for having anxiety and stress. So when I know myself, I even understand the speed in which I work with. I know that I work maybe better. Like I know I work better at night. Like right now, I feel like I've just woken up. I am more active during the night. So that is when I'll take chores that require a lot of thinking and concentration. But I know I'm also a very slow worker in the morning. So I will not take things that are going to overwhelm me in the morning, because I know I'm not at my optimum during those timings. So self-awareness is able to do so much for me in terms of my personal development. The eighth one is authenticity and fulfillment. Authenticity is originality. I'm able to be more real and original. I don't have to copy other people. Self-awareness allows individuals to live authentically, aligning their action with their true values. These alignments lead to a greater sense of purpose and fulfillment in life. When I am authentic, I don't have to fear how I will respond or how I'll cover myself, because I know I am real. There is nothing to cover. There is nothing to hide about. I don't have to explain the why I'm doing what I am doing, because I know I am living right. I know I am living the truth of who I really am. I'm almost sharing this, and I'm imagining if I was living a double life, how difficult that life would be. That there is this person in church, there is a person at work, there is a person at home. So even when I am teaching the things I'm teaching here, and because my children maybe are asleep and they're listening, the children are like, who is that, my mother talking? Is that who she is? It can be a very difficult life. So being authentic helps us to, being self-aware helps us to be more authentic. And of course, you are more fulfilled. You live a life where you really don't have to live to be a cover-up and looking for a vacate to cover you over life. The ninth one, there is improved leadership and influence. Self-aware leaders are more effective because they understand their impact on others and can adapt their leadership styles to different situations. They inspire trust and respect by being transparent, accountable, and empathetic. So I'll just put that point that personal leadership or self-awareness improves our leadership skills. I become a better leader by just being able to know who I am and being self-aware. I can be able to be an influence and an inspiration to the people that I am leading. Continuous self-improvement. So self-awareness is a lifelong journey. So it's not a destination. It is not something that will happen after this session and now I will say, wow, I am self-aware. Or even me that is teaching, that will say, I think I know a lot. I'm even a teacher. I'm the one who teaches others. No, it is a continuous journey. It's a lifelong journey that encourages individual to reflect, learn, and evolve. It fosters a proactive approach to personal development, ensuring ongoing growth and self-discovery. Remember, there is something you've not discovered about yourself. For those who are in school, you've never been never been working, so you don't know how you work. You don't know how you will work. For those who are not married, you've never known how you will be as a wife or a husband. You've never maybe interacted in an international company. So you've never known how to interact when you get to that place. For those who are climbing the career ladder, you've never been a CEO. And of course, you are becoming one. So you don't know how you will be as a CEO. And as I'm speaking this, I pray that we can be able to just see a picture of us becoming all that, because we have that potential within us. Good. So how can we, of course, be able, because we have also talked about self-awareness. So how can I be able to cultivate this self-awareness? We will say reflect regularly. Please make friendship with yourself. Make friendship with yourself. Love your company. For those of us that are extroverts, please set intentional time where you sit with yourself and discuss with yourself. Set time to talk to you. Self-reflection, regular self-reflection will always be able to help me to become a better person. Seek feedback, especially from people that are around us and that we trust. Seek feedback. Seek feedback from genuine people. Don't seek feedback from people who trivialize your abilities and strength. Be able to ask feedback from people that you know for sure can be able to tell you the truth. And don't only listen to those who give you positive feedback. It is good to also listen to any negative feedback, as long as it is genuine. Pay attention to your thoughts, feelings, and behavior. Please don't be a person that all the time talks like this. I don't know what happened. I found myself. There is nothing. That is an non-existent statement. You cannot find yourself. Everything we do is premeditated. Everything we do is premeditated. The problem is whether you are able to go to those premeditations and reach out to them and be bold enough to question them. Most of us are not ready to question them. And that's why we will say we don't know what happened. The other one, of course, is engage in self-assessment. Use tools like personality tests, strength assessment. Use tools that can be able to do self-assessment. Don't be comfortable with just being where you are. Make it a challenge that there is something new that you are learning. Of course, engage in conversations like the one we are having today. Be able to get to places where people are having a conversation about personal development. Learn how to become better. Learn how to become a good person, and avoid listening to people who teach information that cannot be referenced. Please avoid listening to people that give personal opinions, because they will confuse you. And they are going to create a belief system that is not foundational. If you listen to such content, it causes a lot of confusion. One thing I like about the Bible is that the Bible, being the original information or the content that we get from the teachings of Christ, is the original information, the truth about life. So if I can be able to take that information and take it the right way, then it means that I will be laying my life on a right foundation. Or being able to listen to also information that can be researched, like what I am talking about here. You can get into any research setting and be able to get the same feedback of what I am sharing. It can be checked by someone else. Avoid listening to personal opinions. They can be very, very misleading. Challenge assumptions. Question your beliefs, biases to gain a clearer understanding of yourself and the world around you. Learn to ask yourself questions. Even doubt yourself. Learn to ask questions. And by asking questions, we have an opportunity to learn new things. We have an opportunity to critique information. Even the information I have taught here. Go sit down and critique everything that I have said. Try to understand, is it true? And is it can I be able to apply it in my life? And if I apply it in my life, what am I going to gain? All that we can be able to apply it in our lives and become better. My prayer is that even as we are listening to this, and as we continue to be more self-aware so that we can develop ourselves, is that we will become a people that are icons. You know, someone who is unique, that the space you get into, it will be very easy for you to be identified because you have understood yourself. You have set yourself apart from the crowd. That is the impact of self-awareness, being able to set ourselves apart from the crowd. So have a blessed night, and thank you so much for joining us, especially those that have joined us here live on Zoom, and those who have joining us live on Facebook, and those that will be listening to us later on YouTube. Thank you so much, and thank you for keeping following us. Please share and make sure you come with someone else next time so that we can be able to spread this and become more self-aware in our lives, and we pass the same information to the people around us. So may the Lord bless you so much. Thank you. I'll take it back to Amy so that she can be able to bring in a few questions or maybe comments even from the people that are live with us now. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Madam K. Another very informative, session, and we are so grateful for that particular information. And just the statement that you have told us that self-awareness is the foundation on which we base our whole lives. Like you can base your career, you can base your relationships, your finances, and just to be able to question yourself and ask yourself why you behave in the way you behave. So, just like Madam K has said, we are welcoming in the comments and even the questions that you may have here on Zoom or on Facebook. But we can just answer a few questions here. Madam K, you can answer for us. Someone has said, I have been working on myself and development, but I find myself going 5 steps back, like backlash in my relationships or shopping sprees. Does it mean I am not understanding self awareness?
Kindly come again.
All right. They say I have been working on myself and development, but I find myself going 5 steps back, like backlash in my relationships and shopping sprees. Does it mean I am not understanding self awareness?
Remember, self-awareness has to be holistic. It is not just self-awareness, maybe in the area of maybe just my abilities. I believe, I don't know whether we will be have an opportunity of doing SWOT analysis. You might be self-aware, but you have not been able to identify your threats. So therefore, you are self-aware, you know your strength, you know your abilities, you even know your opportunities, but you did not analyze your threats. So your threats are the ones that keep coming and attacking the many progress that you're making. The other one, of course, is we said this is a journey. It is not a destination. It's not something we will get into tomorrow or next week. It is a journey. So also learn to appreciate the small steps that you're making. If you used to not make friends and you only make one friend, don't mind about three five, mind about this one that you've been able to make. So appreciate small gains, because if now you start a backlash on yourself, you're demotivating yourself, and that journey will become very difficult. Another hindrance might be unresolved issues. Yes, I think I am self-aware, but I have life issues that I have never dealt with. There is a unfinished business about myself that I have never dealt with. Maybe there is some bitterness I've closed somewhere in the cabinet. Maybe there is abuse that I faced, and therefore I walk with it every day. So if there is any unfinished business, it is going to affect my self-awareness. So I may be thinking I'm self-aware, but I am not, because there is some baggage I have not dealt with. So all those things are things we need to put into play, even as we define whether we are really self-aware. And it does not mean that I am taking us back. We said, please let us have a relationship with ourselves. Constantly have a conversation with you. I know how we like talking to our friends and chatting them and having a good time, but please have a good time with yourself.
Wow, that's fantastic. Be your own friend first, and just be able to understand that this is a journey, which actually brings us to the next question that came in, which is, can you ever get to a point of being fully self-aware? Because I keep feeling like I meet different sides of me. Am I bipolar?
Um, One of the things that would really cause a lot of confusion in personality is not being authentic. Remember, we talked about authenticity, or that
Yes.
English, the word that is not coming out.
Authenticity, yes.
Emmy, you can say it again so that we get it.
Authenticity.
At least you've not taken tea with sugar. So that one, if we are not
Mm,
authentic,
mm,
we will always lie to ourselves. So we will pick this person's personality, but we know for sure I am nataka kujifanya kama yeye. You know, I am trying to be
mm,
like them, and I know it.
yeah.
The problem is that
Mm,
deep within I know.
mm-hmm,
So there is nothing about those two personalities. The issue is not two personalities. It is that we are not authentic and we are not truthful to ourselves. So when we
mm.
are doing self-assessment, we need to be very truthful to ourselves. Please don't overestimate yourself and don't underestimate yourself. Some people are self-confident, the extreme of what is arrogance, and they think that is being self-confident. That is thinking highly of yourself than you are. That is what the Bible calls it. So as much as we are talking about self-awareness, don't be a person you are not. You know, there are people you meet and they are telling you the things they are, and you're listening and you're like, I cannot see any bit of what you just said. That is not you. And that is the place of also seeking feedback. The people around you will be able to tell you whether what you think you are, or they will be able to constantly tell you, by the way, you are this, you are this. And as you're hearing feedback, you'll be able to now confirm whether what you think you are, you are. So please let us
Mm.
not mistake being proud and arrogant for self-confidence.
Wow, be authentic. Surround yourself with people that you actually trust who can give you proper feedback and also give you good criticism, right? Okay, so I see here on Zoom we have a comment that has been written in, and they say, if you are not self-aware, you are selfish. Wow, powerful, quotable quote. Madam K, these are what those quotes of ours that we say this one has to go on a t-shirt or a hoodie by Salem Consultants. Thank you so much, Laz, for actually bringing in that comment. So, Madam K, if we have time, maybe you can answer one other question. Somebody wrote in and said, how can I do self-awareness on my children as a parent of 3? It's a very loaded one.
Now, you are not the one who is doing self-awareness. You are facilitating self-awareness. Our
Mm-hmm.
problem with parenting is that we want to parent children to be like us. Children also are authentic. They want to be themselves. They want to be autonomous of us parents. So I cannot dictate who my child will become. In fact, if I did that, I will be destroying their life. So it is use the same skills to facilitate their self-awareness. You remember the part of self-affirmation and getting positive feedback. Give your child positive feedback. Put your child in an environment where they are not judged or criticized. I was talking somewhere and I was saying when I would hear that statement of, I think when I was a young parent, when I would hear that statement of in every what was that statements of reprimanding a child, in every one, make sure you put 5 statements of affirmation. I that was just a statement. By the way, I would hear people say, and maybe I'm talking here and some people are hearing me just making statements. So that is how I was making. I was hearing them. I'm like, wow, wow. But as I continued to raise my children and as I continued to do therapy, I realized how important affirmation is from a parent. So one way of facilitating self-awareness for your child, affirm them, celebrate their achievements, Let them hear it from you. I remember I was talking to someone and they're like, I cannot remember hearing anything good from my mother. I think the much I've had is you've not washed your utensils well. When you cook, the tea is cold. When you serve food, it is not tasty. There is too much salt. It is very easy to criticize. And unfortunately, because of the way our brain is fashioned, we pick the criticism faster than the affirmation. So I have to do more affirmations than the criticism so that they are picked. And maybe I would share about my late mom. I want to believe I'm able even to teach what I am teaching here because of what my mom did. From when I was in grade, the much I can remember is when I was in nursery school. I always was the best in class. Or position 1, 2, 3. I operated there, and you see the celebration. I used to feel like I'm the king. And also when as days went by, I also began singing and dancing, and I would see my mom really celebrate. I want to believe I am who I am today because of that celebration that was done then. So if you're really looking for a way to facilitate self-awareness in your child, affirmation, making sure it's more of approval than disapproval. I know we like, and sometimes people even say, if you affirm them too much, they will become proud. So even when a child comes with an A, we want an A plus. I don't know whether there is something like that. Somebody comes with an A of 84. You are asking them, why is it a not 85? Excuse me, it's an A. Celebrate that one. I have met young people who got a B plus, and someone is saying that they failed. Me now, I had a C plus, Bwana. Now me, if you failed with a B plus, now how did I pass? So I mean, so, you should see how it was celebrated at home. So please learn to appreciate more than criticize if you're seeking to get a child who is more self-aware.
Wow. That was definitely a mouthful, but definitely I think what we have carried with that is just to learn how to give more affirmation than to give criticism, in as much as it is easier to give the criticism. And maybe we can carry that even to other relationships that we have, not necessarily as parents or something like that. We have just one final question, Madam K. You can give us the answer before we close, and then we shall be very thankful to you. And it reads, is it possible to point out issues in other relationships or people when I am not fully self-aware myself?
When we are not self-aware, most of the
Mm.
times the flaws and negatives that we see in other people is a mirror of ourselves.
Wow. When we are not, that's why you've even dropped the mic and you have finished at that point. Wow, that's actually amazing to know that
So
sometimes,
it is
yeah.
very easy to identify
Mhm.
what we don't like in ourselves. And that's why somehow when we are not self-aware, we attract people of our kind.
Madam K, these are big bombs to finish just like that. Okay, so sometimes you're attracting what you don't like in yourself. I think that is food for thought for everyone here. And I hope we are still also remembering to do even the assignments that we were given even last time. I don't know whether you have something else to say, Madam K, on top of those bombs, or should we close it there?
Maybe just give us an assignment that we
Mm-hmm,
write 10 strengths,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
5 weaknesses, 10 strengths, 5 weaknesses, uh, 10 values that govern our lives. 10 strengths, 5 weaknesses, and 10 values that govern our life.
All right, so that is the assignment for today. This particular discussion on self-awareness and self-development definitely has us going back into ourselves and just doing a lot of introspection. We really appreciate your time, Madam K. We appreciate the gems that you drop on us every single Tuesday. Once again, just to remind the people, this is Salem Consultants, where we have holistic wellness of the spirit, of the mind, and of the body. My name is Amy Njambi, a counseling psychologist there. And Madam K, you can just close for us as we close the session tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Amy, because I can see we have a number of us. I will still give them an opportunity to say a one word or two. Anyone that is willing to have a comment, say something. Those of us that are on Zoom, kindly, and even those who are on Facebook, you can comment what is your take home tonight. Anyone, kindly unmute and you can say a comment, your take home, so that it is not only me and Emmy talking. I can see Akish, Brittany, Gabriel, any of you can unmute and say something.
Okay, good evening.
Good evening.
So my take is, well, I have so many takes. Every time you speak, you give us so many takes. But one thing that has struck me is it's like you are in my mind when you are talking about knowing who you are, like how would I say it? There's just a way you've answered. Oh yeah, about the people. Like don't be so much into kind of negativity on what people are saying, but you base your life, you check it with the scriptures. My take for today will be what you just said the last time, in finishing, that we attract, yeah, we kind of attract wrong people. If I got it right. But I'm grateful as always. I'm always learning. I can, since you started with 0.1 to 10, I can, at least now I can see where I am and the things I need to work on. More so for me, I think I need to emphasize so much and be serious with my boundaries on saying no when I need to say no. Yeah, I think that is an area now I need to work on. But the rest, I think I believe I'm somewhere. I'm doing good. So thank you.
Thank you, Akish. Our antidote to boundaries is values. So when you are sure about and a clear picture of your boundaries, it is very easy to keep the right boundaries.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. I don't know whether there's anyone else who would want to say a word or their take home. Brittany, Gabriel, and she. Anyone? Okay, she, welcome.
Thank you. So my take home today was on the reflection. I think I don't do that a lot, but I'll start doing intentionally. Yeah, and I think I can say the journey to self-awareness haijakuwa more of a destination. It has been something that I keep learning something new every day about me, especially nikijipata in moments ama situations penye I really need to evaluate myself. So it has been more of a journey. And thank you for the session. It was amazing. I've learned a lot from the 10 points. Thank you.
Thank you, She, and thank you. I pray that you will make a closer relationship with yourself. Continue having a relationship with you. Anyone else? We call it a night. Okay. Thank you so much for being a part of us, those who have followed us on Zoom, those who are online, and those that will be following us later on YouTube. Thank you so much always for just being here. It is easy really hearing those feedbacks. If you were not here, there was no one to be able to give feedback with. But I also pray that you will be able to pass on this knowledge and information to other people, and we will build a more self-aware community around us that is more empowered and more self-aware. So thank you so much and have a blessed night. See you next Tuesday, same time.